Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. Hope you guys are well. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, April 4th. Man, the year is the year going by fast, or maybe no, I don't think it is. I think it's going by slow. You know, everybody always says, "Man, the year's going by so fast. It's already April 4th." I don't think so. I think it's going as fast as it needs to go. But thank you guys so much for joining. I don't even know where that came from. But hey, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys. It's On Air with Russell of Hotels, show number 203. Yes, I've done 203 shows, and I'm so happy that that didn't even sound right. It did. I'm so happy. No, I am happy. I'm gracious. I'm grateful. I'm blessed that I'm able to do this show. People actually listen, people watch, people make comments, people ask me about certain things. You know, I see people on the street and they're like, "You're that dude." Yeah, all that stuff, right? No, I welcome all that, but no, I thank you guys so much for joining. Hey, and just so you guys know, this is live on, you probably knew this already, I don't know, but I'm gonna let you know anyway, and on a secret, it's live on LinkedIn as well as YouTube. I do the show every Tuesday, right? Every Tuesday I do it. So it's always live on LinkedIn and YouTube. And one thing that I do is I welcome engagement, comments, questions, whatever. And hopefully I can answer them. You know what I mean? So that's the test right there, if I can answer the questions. But no, I do welcome that, and I see the comments will pop on the screen. In fact, I got this new feature today that I didn't even know that this even existed on this platform. But I watch other people that have this same platform. It's called Ecamm Live. It's only for Mac products, right? So I have a MacBook Pro or whatever. And I was watching a podcast that they have the same platform. And they're able to, the comments will pop on the screen. I'm like, well, how the heck do they do that? So I had to go through, YouTube will teach you anything, right? So I typed in Ecamm comments on screen, something like that. And it was a tutorial on how this thing works. I'm like, I've had this thing for a year. I didn't even know this, right? So, but anyway, as you can tell, I'm excited, right? So I'm ready for a comment. So if anyone just out there just wants to make a comment, like say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm in, whatever, boo, whatever, what the hell, or whatever they want to say, say it, and so I can show you how it works, right? So, because I'm ready. So, let's see. What else? So, and you guys know, I can't go any further without saying, who my brand sponsor is, right? Level Hotels, downtown LA. Stayinglevel.com is the website address. I always tell people book direct, right? No matter where you stay, if you don't stay at the Level, wherever hotels you stay in, make sure you always book direct. You get the best deals when you book direct. Some people don't believe me on that, but try it and see, okay? Compare the prices, right? Go to a third party and bring up the website of the hotel you want to stay in and compare, right? Okay, so compare. But compare everything, apples to apples, okay? So there you go. Congratulations. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, thanks, Dylan. See? You see that? Dylan, congratulations to Level Hotels and Russell Hotels on creating a rate. See, there you go. See, I'm glad you made that comment, Dylan, because it just popped in right there on the screen. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Isn't that phenomenal? And it disappears after a couple seconds. So it gives me time to read it. And if I wanted to put it up there again, the comment's still there. I can do it again. So that's what, man, you know what? It's the darndest thing to get me excited, okay? And it'll disappear again on its own, right? In a couple seconds. So poof, there you go. So thank you so much, Dylan. See, right on. See, Dylan has my back, right? I appreciate that, Dylan. Thank you so much. I wanted to, there's something I wanted to do here right before I get started. And just so you guys know, this will be a podcast as well. So of course, it's the live show, but after it's over, I will put it on my podcast platform. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, you can find On Air with Russell of Hotels there. Okay, so after this is over, it just takes me a couple minutes to upload it, and then it's at wherever podcast platform. Let's see. Oh, another comment from Jonathan Garnica. Great to hear from you, Russell. This is Jonathan Garnica from Sportsman's Lodge. Hey, what's going on? Sportsman's Lodge Banquets. Yes, I do remember you. Thank you so much. See, dude, that is cool, man. Thanks for joining, man. I appreciate you. You remember me. I appreciate that. So no, I definitely remember you, Jonathan. So thank you so much. In fact, let me just click on your comment again. So throw it up there so people can see it, because I'm really excited about this whole comment thing here. But no, Jonathan, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You coming on and just show me some support, show me some love and support. I appreciate that, man. So I don't take it lightly that people actually will listen to what I have to say and come on and make comments. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. So once again, Level Hotels, that's Level downtown LA. It's on Olive Street. It's like on Olive and 9th. The fascinating thing, or the interesting thing about this property, is that your typical hotel room will be 300 to 350 square feet. Okay, that's your typical hotel room. Okay, these start out at 700 square feet, so it's double the size of a regular room. And plus, it has there's 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, and it goes up to like an 18,000 square foot penthouse suite. That's with its own pool and jacuzzi. If you're into that kind of stuff, I don't get down like that, but some people do. Okay, so it appeals to a wide range of market segments. Okay, so every hotel has everybody's assigned a market code, right? A market segment or whatever. So it appeals to a wide range. If you're long-term stay, meaning you're staying like 5 nights or more, you need a kitchen, you need a washer and dryer, all that kind of stuff. You need balconies. All the rooms have balconies. What hotel can say that all rooms have balconies? So there you go. So just wanted to throw that in there. Let me get that off of there. So there was something I was trying to do, though. Hold on one second. I was trying to put where I was able to play some musica. What the heck is it? You know what? I don't know if I should even mess around, because I'm going to mess something up and then I'll really be hot. So, but anyway, let's move forward, okay? Because, there's one thing I wanted to say. Hey, what would be a salesperson's best friend? Okay, and I'll give whoever is there, whoever wants to make comments. This is just a quick question. What would be a salesman's best friend? Someone that sells, that communicates with people all the time. Maybe they have, they meet with them, they have lunch with them, they talk to them. What would be a salesman's best friend? And this is one thing that I always thought that should be their best friend, right? And are you there? No one's gonna listen. Okay, all right. You see this right here? I'm not sure if you can see that. It's green, but it says Listerine Cool Mint. Okay, it's a mint. Okay, just like an Altoid or something like that. That's one thing that I always carried around with me as a sales manager. Because you never knew when you're going to be talking to a client, potential client, or whatever. And sometimes you're talking over lunch, and it kind of can be in close quarters sometimes. And you don't want your breath to be humming, okay, when you're talking to a client. Okay, so I always kept this in my pocket, or in my lapel pocket, or whatever, in my suit jacket or whatever, because you just never knew when you were going to encounter or be in close quarters with a client or potential client, or a guest that you run into in in the hallway or in the lobby or whatever, your MOD, and you need to talk to someone, right, or someone needs to talk to you, I would, go ahead and get me an Altoid out or one of these things out. So, and not that I'm trying to sponsor this or anything like that. I just happen to see these. They're on the counter in the kitchen. I said, you know what? These things were my best friend, and they should be everybody's best friend that's a salesperson. Okay, so there you go. So that's all I wanted to say about that. So it wasn't a trick question. Well, I guess it was a trick question, right? Because I guess maybe no salespeople are listening to this, so but that's fine. Industry stuff. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so yesterday, I do this thing called daily check-in with Russell of Hotels, and yesterday I mentioned this. The first topic there is E3 canceled in LA. Okay, now you guys know E3 is the major electronics show that happens, or used to happen every year in Los Angeles prior to COVID. Okay, so COVID 2019 was the last time it had happened. So this year, 2023, June 2023, it was going to be the first time in several years that it was going to come back. Well, last week, I don't know, it's Thursday or Friday of last week, it canceled. Okay, so they pulled out. They're not coming. So what's the economic impact of that? What does that do for the city? Well, the tourism impact, it was 65,000 people that were coming. So wow, 65,000 people, 25 to 30,000 room nights or rooms, I would think, something like that. $88 million in revenue that's lost. Revenue that would go to tourism, right, is lost. So that affects not just hotels, restaurants downtown. What about the airlift coming in? What about Uber and Lyft? What about rental car places and all that kind of stuff? So that was the big thing for LA is getting all that compression downtown Los Angeles, right? Although we've had I think the championship game for college was at SoFi, but in a lot of the hotels, that were impacted for that were at the airport. Okay, so this would definitely impact more LA, Hollywood, Santa Monica. It would everywhere, right? So, but $88 million in like 2 or 3 days, right? So basically, LA will be missing out on that. So what happens? I can just remember when I worked downtown and big events would cancel, like citywide conventions, because that's basically a citywide convention is taking over every hotel in the city, right, in that downtown area. And I just remember, just a panic that we would go through. You know what I mean? Well, we lost this, and we need to fill up the rooms. Now we have empty space. So call all your clients and see if they can, because now you got to fill the space, right? So you just don't just sit back and say, oh, okay, well, that's it, right? Hey, E3's not coming. No, you still have to fill those rooms. You still have a budget, right? Although, yeah, it's easy to you got to type a narrative, after June's over and that P&L statement when you're going to make budget. Now you didn't make budget, E3 canceled, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's great. They want to hear that too, right? But what did you do? Okay, because that's several months away, right? So what have you done to try to fill that hole? I mean, it's a big hole for some certain hotels, I'm sure, right? But what did you do? You still have to do something to enjoy June something less than a day. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at comments and see, now this thing is getting me, so Dylan made a comment. I enjoyed your geofencing lessons today. Okay, thanks. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that today. But yeah, so we still have to try to fill those rooms, fill the void, if you will, right? So every hotel person, I guarantee you, anyone that had a room block that included the E3 room block, they are now scrambling around trying to find business to put in those holes. I guarantee you that's what's going on. And if it's not going on, something's wrong. Okay. But anyway, I just wanted to share that again. But I mean, that's a shame because it affects, like I said, I mentioned who it affects, all the entities that it affects, but it also affects, the meeting planner, the hotel site selection person, the person that was, who was responsible for bringing that group to LA. What about the convention center? Everybody that works there, you know what I mean? So all the banquet people, it affects everybody, right? So like I said, hotels and salespeople are scrambling around right now. What are we going to do? We got a hole to fill. It's a big hole, but we can do it. Okay, so Woo! There you go. So there you go with that. Let's see. Digital marketing. Now, you guys know I'm a big proponent of digital marketing, especially when it comes to social media, right? So this is digital marketing, right? What I'm doing here, this is creating content, okay? Creating content for Russell of Hotels, this on air with Russell of Hotels, right? And creating content for Level Hotels because I mentioned, them as a sponsor, okay? So you can go back, rewind this, and see that, oh, Level Hotels, okay, I'll create some content for them, right? So it's all about creating content. It's all about repetition, though. Okay, so it's not one time and that's it, right? And I mention this all the time, so this is nothing new. But I'm just reiterating that sometimes we miss the boat on certain things like this. And do we have, I need to go back to a hotel, right? So I can look at the P&Ls or the budgets and see, do they have a slot in there, a line item for digital marketing or social media marketing or email marketing or text message marketing, geofencing, whatever the heck it is, right? I think I need to go back to a hotel just so I can see that and see what is going on with that, right? And I haven't asked anyone that. I think maybe I have asked a couple of people that work on property, like directors of sales, and ask them, say, hey, do you have well, yeah, with some of these properties they say they have it, but it's within their PR company. You know what I mean? So I said, well, what does a PR company do? Well, they say they do this. Well, do you know what they do? So, I mean, that's another thing. I mean, we have to know what the PR companies are doing. Definitely a GL code for, okay, all right, general ledger code for social media. Okay, so you definitely have one then, Dylan. So you say, Dylan, answer the question. Dylan's the general manager at the Fairfield Inn by Marriott in Eugene, Oregon. So go Ducks. So he answered that question. See, so there you go. So we got that question out of the way. So, but social media, like I said, it can't just do one time and think it's going to work. It's all about repetition. Email marketing. Okay, so we get all this information that we get from the guest. Okay, what do we do with that information? We get emails, we get phone numbers, we get addresses, we get their cell phones, their office numbers, we get the name of their first kid. We get all of that stuff, but what do we use it for? Do we actually use it? Now, I know some of the major brands like a Marriott or a Hilton, they would do that. So maybe I'm not speaking to them. Maybe I am, but in a roundabout sort of way, right? In a roundabout sort of way, I'm talking to the other, like the independents that get the same information, but they may not have the same tools that a major brand would have to make sure that they're utilizing that information, like they're doing email blast or email campaigns, marketing campaigns, right? So they're taking advantage of the emails that they're getting and they're sending out promotional information or thank yous and things like that and things that are going on in the area or things about the hotel. Whatever it is, that's another opportunity to get your name out there, right? So you got social media, you got email marketing, text messaging. Okay, same thing as email. This may be in a text only, but it's still sending out information. Now, a lot of this stuff you have to opt in, right? Because you just can't, hotels or companies just can't send things out just willy-nilly and expect them to get to people, right? It may get to that device, but they have to okay it. They have to opt in for it, okay? So, and that's another thing, right? So there's a gatekeeper for that, but you want to make sure you're sending things that are not, that don't come across as being spam either. But if they know that they've been to this hotel before, the XYZ hotel, or just stay there, you're going to take a look at it, right? You're going to take a look at it and see exactly what it is, right? So those are things that you can use. This is all digital. This is not, what's the other thing called influencer marketing? This is all digital right here. Well, you know what? I'll talk about influencer marketing next week. Okay, so yeah, that'll be a good one, right? So what the difference is between the two, how to find one, how to vet all that stuff. I'll talk about that later. So, okay, so we talked about social media. We talked about email marketing. Make sure you utilize the information that you're getting. Talked about text messaging, which is an offshoot of email marketing. You're getting that information too. You're getting their cell phone when they're checking in. So you're hitting people both ways. You're hitting them email and you hit them on the text message. Okay. Now, geofencing. Now, geofencing it's been around for a while, right? It's not something new. I utilize this one company, and I utilize it for a couple of hotels here in LA because they didn't know what geofencing was, right? So geofencing basically, it's an area. So just take an area, a neighborhood that you're a neighborhood around a hotel. Let's just say that, that you're electronically going to put a fence around. Okay, so anything that comes in and out, any device that comes in and out of that area, you capture it. Okay, so if I walk into XYZ hotel across the street, okay, now all of a sudden, ping, it pings. Okay, it doesn't ping me, but it pings the device, the geofencing device, right? You don't hear it. You don't even know that you're getting pinged, right? You walk in, a lot of malls do this, okay? You walk in, you ever walk into, okay, I'm sorry, I jump around a lot. You ever walk into a mall and all of a sudden you get a text or an email from a store? I remember this was some years ago. I was in Cincinnati. Okay, my daughter went to school in Cincinnati, right? She went to college in Cincinnati, Xavier University, just in case, for people to keep a score. So she went to Xavier, and we were there for something, just for the weekend. So we went to this mall. Okay, and this has never happened to me before, right? So walk into a mall, and instantly, bing, I get this ping on my text message, right? And it had to do with Victoria's Secrets, right? Victoria's Secrets is having whatever their yearly sale or something like that. It was a promotion for Victoria's Secrets. And I noticed that, okay, you can get their Wi-Fi, right? Victoria's Secrets was sponsoring the Wi-Fi in this mall. Okay, so you click the thing and you got connected to the Wi-Fi, but you had to read the promotion from Victoria's Secrets before you could get the Wi-Fi. I'm like, this is dope, right? I was like, what the heck? So that's when I really I knew a little bit about geofencing, but then that's when it really hit me because it actually hit me. It actually hit me, right? So I'm like, what the heck? So it's the same thing, right? So you go into a hotel, I put a geofence around that hotel, you go through the front door, bing, and automatically you're walking into the hotel A. I work for hotel B. I'm sending you things for hotel B, right? Because I want your business, right? So it's simple as that, right? So it's kind of like that, and somebody's on here saying that, well, it's like that Big Brother's watching. Yeah, Big Brother has been watching you, right? So this is nothing new. I just mentioned malls do it, right? A lot of destinations do it. A lot of CVBs do this because they want to figure out people's buying habits, right? They want to see where the people came from, where they're going. So after a certain time, as long as you keep that same device, meaning your phone, as long as you keep that same phone, people, if they have a geofence set up, it's going to track you forever. Okay, because you're looking at people's buying habits, and that's where things are going. That's where service levels are going. What are your buying habits? What do you frequently buy? Where do you go? What's the demographic? They can figure out if you're male, female, if you're black, white, if you have kids, if you're married, they can figure all that stuff out based on where you're going. And then that way they can target you specifically. So it's more of a target market approach, right? So they're targeting a specific persona. Okay, we're looking for, males between 35 and 45 that are business owners. Okay, that's specific, right? They live in this area. All right. It's specific to that, and they can find exactly that, right? You're looking for personas people that fit that persona. Okay, so that's what that's in a nutshell. That's what geofencing is. That's what it does, right? So you can geofence anything. You geofence, like I said, I worked with a couple hotels before where they wanted to geofence the Rose Bowl. 100,000 people go to the Rose Bowl, right? Okay. During the Rose Parade, Rose Bowl, right? So they wanted to geofence that area because they knew they would get a ton of people knowing where they were, where do they come from. So that's what they did. We geofenced that area, and they get all kind of data. But see, the thing of it is, just like social media where you have to continuously do things, geofencing, you have to continuously do things as well, right? You don't just one time, okay, oh, I got this information, now what? Well, there's steps to it, right? So you get the information, but then you go a step further. Okay, I got this information, I got these people, but now I need the information. So you have to, it goes through different steps, right? So, but you have to continuously be involved in it to get the information that you want. Because remember, and I think I cut myself off. Some hotels or some companies they want to personalize things for your guest, right? And excuse me sorry about that. My allergies are acting up. But yeah, so they want to personalize things for the guests, right? So imagine this, okay? Imagine this, and I'm spending a little bit more time than I wanted to on this, but it's important, right? So let's, just listen to this for a second. So personalization. I work for this hotel, downtown property. Let's just say it's a downtown property. Let's say it's a Level hotel, right? I work for the Level hotel, and I know this guy, Russell Edmond, is coming to town, okay? And I know for a fact, we have captured him on geofencing, right? We know that he's between the age that we're looking for. He's that persona. And we know he's staying at our hotel. Well, we know for a fact that he loves Silver Oak wine, okay? He loves to drink Silver Oak wine, okay? I'm just throwing it as an example, okay? And wouldn't it be something, I check in, I get to my room, and then there's a bottle of Silver Oak wine in my room already. That's called personalized service. And that's some of the tools you can get through using geofencing as a marketing tool, right? Although, yeah, I got to pay for the wine, right? If I open it, I got to pay for it, okay? We understand that, okay? Nothing's free, but wouldn't that just set you off? I'll be like, set you off in a good way, not in a bad way, right? That would, if they did that to me, and I like Silver Oak wine, I don't know why I came up with Silver Oak, because back in the day when I lived in Sacramento, I became a wine snob, if you can believe that or not, right? We had this food and beverage director at this hotel that I used to work in. It was a Sheraton in Rancho Cordova, which is right outside of Sacramento. And he would take his time and explain wines to us and all this kind of stuff. And we would taste so many different wines, right? And Silver Oak, like a 1989, was my favorite, right? So that's why I came up with Silver Oak. And it's it's a higher level of wine, right? It's not like going to a liquor store and getting some Boone's Farm, okay? So it's a little higher level, but yeah, so that's why I came up with that Silver Oak. But yeah, so if I checked in and they had Silver Oak wine, I'd be like, what the heck? How do they know? It's based on the buying patterns, okay? So sometime during when this geofencing was tracking you, you bought a whole case of wine, and now we knew that. And now you check into this hotel, we knew you were coming in because we saw you on the arrivals list. Okay, Russell Edmonds coming here. Okay, let's look. Do we have Russell Edmonds on this list? Okay, boom, Silver Oak wine. Okay, let's send him a bottle. Put the price on there. It's $50 a bottle. Hey, but it's personalized service. That's where things are going. If you don't think so, you're sadly mistaken. So if you don't think you're being geofenced now, you have been geofenced, okay? If you have a cell phone, you're being geofenced, right? How do you think people like, the police find people? They check the cell phone towers. Well, you're being geofenced. It pings everywhere you go. There's certain areas in LA, like Beverly Hills. You commit a crime in Beverly Hills, there's cell towers everywhere. There's cell towers and cameras every single where, and they geofence that area. The entire Beverly Hills. So you cannot commit a crime in BH, Beverly Hills, and think you're going to get away with it, because they're going to find you, okay? That's a form of geofencing. So don't think that you're not being geofenced. Well, I don't want to do that. You may opt for not to get the text messages or not to receive emails and things like that, but you're still being geofenced. Okay, geofence. That's a term now, right? He's being geofenced, but it does happen. Okay, so, and it works similar to GPS. Okay, so like GPS, you type in the address and it takes you there. Same thing. The RFID. I'll give you another example of something. Hold on one second. Okay. I'll give you another example of RFID. RFID, that's I can't think of, I don't know what it stands for, but the new what do you call them? Key cards for the hotel rooms. The ones that you just wave and the door unlocks. Not the ones you have to insert, but the ones you just wave over the lock and it unlocks it. That's an RFID, right? That's what those key cards are called. I mean, that's the brand. I don't know if it's a brand, but there's something embedded in there. Okay, so that same thing is used if you go to like trade shows, right? It may be in the wristband, right? Okay, they give you a wristband or they give you like a lanyard that has a little thing on it. Okay, they sometimes embed the RFID thing in there, like a little sensor, right? So wherever you go to certain points, it bings. Okay, he did go there. Bing, he went there. So because how do you think they know? I go to a lot of trade shows, right? And they want to make sure that you have been to if you had 20 appointments, they want to make sure you went to 20 appointments. Okay, without asking each appointment that you go, there's a way that they'll have something in the lanyard or on that key card or whatever, and they'll know exactly that you went to all these different, stations, right? You're in there for, a certain amount of time, so they figured you had to be there, right? So those things are happening. We just don't know that they're happening, right? So when people say, because I know someone on here saying, oh, I can't believe that's happening, and that's not going to happen to me. I'm going to opt out. Okay, go ahead and opt out. Okay. But it does happen. Okay, that's another way of marketing. So that's digital marketing, right? So social media, email marketing, text messaging, geofencing with the subtitles GPS, as well as RFID. Okay, so that stuff does happen. Boom. I don't see no other comments. Come on now. Give me some comments here because I want to make sure I put them on the little screen here. These are three things I always talk about. And like I said, my allergies are acting up. So hold on one second, please. That's real right there, right? So people think this is, not real, that people don't get sick because you do a podcast. That's real, right? I just never had to blow my nose on there before, but you have to do what you have to do sometimes. I see a comment, radio frequency identification. Okay, see, there you go. Thank you so much, Stacy. I appreciate that. See, let me just put his comment. Boom, see? Let me move it. See, I can even move the comment. So Stacy Edmond, my brother out there in Blythe, radio frequency identification. That's what RDFE? RDFI? That's what that stands for. So RFID, excuse me. So that's what that stands for. Thank you very much. So these are three things that I always talk about. Be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. Be you. You can't be, it's hard enough for me to be, Russell Edmond without being someone else. So just be you and be represented because your representation matters. Yeah, it matters to me that people that look like me do shows like this and work in hotels and have this, hospitality experience or whatever. So I remember, and I don't know, this is a side thing. I remember when I was trying to choose a major in school, in college, I had gone through several different majors, right? And I took a class in hospitality, right? I think it was Intro to Hospitality Management, number 101, right? And I remember the class, it was Dr. McLean was the professor, right? And we were talking about McDonald's, Behind the Golden Arches, right? That was the book that he was reading, or that was the book that you needed to read to be in this class, right? In order to take the class, right? So I took that class the first time. I got an A, and I'm like, this is kind of cool, this whole hospitality thing. And one thing I noticed is that I'm the only black dude in there, I'm a black person. Okay, so I'm like, they need some representation. Even back then, that's what I thought, right? So I said, okay, all right. So I took another class, and it was the same amount, me, and that was it. And I said, well, wow. And then later, maybe the next semester, next quarter, two other people joined me. Okay, two other black people. Okay, Victor Simmons is one of them, right? Victor Simmons now vice president of HR and DEI for Ace Hotels. Okay, good friend of mine. We went to school together. We actually went to two colleges together. We went to College of the Desert, which is junior college. We played football together, and before that, went to high schools in the same league. So we played each other a couple of times a year, right? I didn't know who he was then. I didn't know until we went to college, right? So, but anyway, but the representation matters because there wasn't a lot of us there. There wasn't a lot of people that looked like us that were there, right? So to me, it was one of those things that I embraced. You know what I mean? And say, you know what? There needs some. I don't know if I said that I need to be represented here. I just thought it was something that was interesting, and I was kind of shocked that no one else that looked like me thought this was interesting as well, and that it could lead to a career, right? Work in a hotel. I mean, I've stayed in hotels before to that point, but I had never worked in one, and I didn't know. I don't think I knew anyone that had worked in one. So I said, you know what? I'll make it happen. So when I started doing this, right? There were a lot of people that were doing this, and that didn't even at that point didn't even matter anymore to me. It just what matters is getting the information out, right? And if it comes from somebody that looks like me, that's fine, right? But it's about the people that are coming behind me, okay? So it's about the people that came behind me in school that knew that that was my major as well, and people that came behind me when I worked in hotels, when I started my career with Marriott 100 years ago and kind of worked my way up, right? I let people know my path, right? I always let people know the path that I went, right? Because like I said, I never know who's coming behind me. And now that I'm doing this show, right, it's still important. It's just as important now than it was 100 years ago when I first started. So yes, my representation matters, and that's the story. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's see. Is that? Did I just do that? Oh, I did that already. I'm sorry. I'm going backwards. These are some of the things that I do. And I was going to play some music with that, but I don't, I'll just sing. No, I'm the brand who helps your brand, right? And how do I do that? Hospitality personality, content creators, sales training for general managers, as well as hotel site selection. So, and this is some of the couple of things that I've been recognized for, and I appreciate that. Who's your best brand advocate? I always ask this, right? Who is your best brand advocate? And I'm gonna give you like 10 seconds to figure that one out. Okay, tell me who is your best brand advocate? It's you, just in case you did not know. So just yesterday, I sent something out, and I get excited when I send things out when I do content creating, especially probably more of it for someone else. But when it's for me, I get just as excited, right? And someone made a comment. It made them laugh. It made them laugh or whatever it was. I can't remember the posting that I put, but I just mentioned. I said, hey, you got to be your best brand advocate, right? If you're not excited about your brand, no one else will be. Okay, so be excited about the brand that you represent. Be excited about you as the brand, right? Because can't nobody sell it like you can, right? No one is going to be as excited as you, but being excited, it's infectious and it makes other people excited. Now, if I just showed up to this thing and say, you know what, this is some crap, or I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing this, who's your best brand advocate? Yeah, okay, thanks. If I was that mellow and that kind of thing, that's not selling anybody, but you got to be excited about it. Okay, you have to be excited about your brand, what you represent, what you can do for people. You have to be excited about it, because if you're not excited about it, no one else will be. Dylan says, often my best brand advocate is Russell Edmonds, which is very kind of him. Yes. Yes, Dylan. Yeah. So anytime someone comes on that I know who they are, right, I'm going to mention them. I'm going to mention their brand. Okay. That's just it, right? So that's just it. So yeah, you're more than welcome, Dylan, because that's what I do, man. And you do the same thing for me. So I appreciate that. So make sure you're your best brand advocate. Only you can be as excited. Of course, you want other people to feed off of that energy as well, right? So there you go. So the more excited you are, the more excited other people will be too. And please excuse me. Like I said, I didn't know my allergy didn't start acting up until I came on this, and this is like the second time this has happened. Not consecutive weeks, but it's the second time it's happened. What are you doing to keep your brand relevant? So now we said, who's your best brand advocate, right? Is you. And now we're saying, what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? What are you doing to keep your brand relevant? And if you hear things in the background, that is somebody's coming through the door. I just hear. So I just want to let people know, just in case you hear something kind of foreign and strange, like a beep, beep, beep and all that kind of stuff. Consistency. How do you increase your social media engagement? Because that's important, right? And it's not all about being one time. It's being consistent. So you have to be consistent with your social media game, okay? So stay on your game. Be consistent. You can't do this one time like, oh, all this stuff is happening now. No, that ain't going to happen. No. It's not going to happen. Second thing is value. So be consistent, meaning do it consistently, more than once, several times a day if you need to, or 7 hours a week, whatever your goal is. I do things several times a day, okay, but that's just me. Value. Make sure you're adding value to someone, right? Make sure someone, like the stuff that I'm mentioning today, hopefully that had value to someone. I was talking about geofencing and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully that had value for someone, right? And I think it did. If anything, you now know what geofencing is, right? So, and how it can be applied. And then the third thing, be authentic. Be your authentic self. Be you, okay? Whatever that means to you, be you. If that's being silly, trying to be funny, trying to be a jokester, a comedian, stand up, whatever it is, just make sure you be you, okay? So those are the things. How do you increase your social media engagement? Okay, now that I know that, what do you use, Russell? What tools do you use? Okay, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Some of the things that I use, Reels, which is IG Reels, Instagram Reels, Shorts, which are YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts are similar to Reels, okay? Then Lives. I do Lives on LinkedIn, I do Lives on YouTube, and I do Lives on Instagram. Monday through Friday, okay? I just do them because it's all about consistency. I post, I do lives, I do this show, okay? I post, meaning Reels, I do lives on YouTube, LinkedIn, and IG, and I post, right? So, in the show, right? So, three things that I do. So, it's just like this vicious cycle of stuff, right? So, you have to continue to keep doing these things because you want people to know what you're doing. You want people to know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Boom. There you go. Doesn't that sound simple? Sounds simple to me, but anyway. Okay. Next, who's hiring and some 9-minute eats? Hold on one second. Man, I'm gonna have to end this show short, okay? Because this is crazy. I'm going crazy. So real quick before I have to blow my nose again. Who's hiring? Okay, real quick. Hyatt LAX looking for a director of sales and marketing. Carlisle Inn and Beverly Hills, they're looking for a dual GM. There's two properties. I can't think of the other name of the property, but they're right next to each other. Plaza Lorena, Westwood, they're looking for a GM. That's a 44-room hotel, not too far from UCLA campus. Pasea Hotel and Spa, that's in Huntington Beach. They're looking for a director of group sales. And the Biltmore, downtown LA, they're looking for a revenue analyst. Okay, a revenue analyst. Excuse me. Oh man. Nami Eats, it's all about Atlas Monroe, right? So I'm on the Atlas Monroe tip right now, okay? So vegan chicken and jerk chicken, okay? And then I had Korean beef the other night. Oh my God. Korean beef is the business, okay? So atlasmonroe.com is out of San Diego. They deliver to your house, okay? And I'm going crazy right now. Hold on one second. Well, I must say there's a first for everything, right? And that has never happened before. Where I had to get up and I had a Kleenex right here, right? But I ran through the Kleenex, if you know what I mean. So I had to go. I guess it's real though, right? I mean, I can't fake it, right? I wonder what they do on real TV, right? When they have to do things like that. Do they cut? I couldn't cut, right? So am I going to edit that? No, I'm not. I mean, that's part of life. That's part of life. So, whew. Do I feel much better now? Yes, I do. So, but anyway, let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? So non-meat eats, right? Atlas Monroe, San Diego, vegan chicken, jerk chicken. Man, you talking about something that's good, that's fire. Atlas Monroe, check it out. Today is Taco Tuesday, right? So I'm doing what do you call it? Tofu with soy riso, okay, mixed together, right? So I chopped up. I diced the tofu. Tofu comes in blocks or squares. So I diced it up, sauteed that, and then threw some crumbled some soy riso on top of that. Soy riso is kind of like chorizo, right? The real version, but it's a fake version, right? It's an imitation version, right? But it's just as seasoned, just like chorizo is, but it's just as good. It's just as good. Okay, so I mixed it with the tofu. Oh, it's gonna be good, right? So I'm gonna make tofu tacos. There you go. Okay. Let's see what else. Three P's. We're almost done here, and once again, I want to apologize for me having to go make a pit stop real quick. It's funny. Nobody's making any comments. No one's making any comments. That's funny. Did you guys see that? Did you guys not see it? No one has anything to say. What's this all about? Okay, you guys sleep? What is it? Anyway, so three P's: purpose, passion, perseverance. Purpose: know why you do what you do. I know I do this show because first of all, it reaches people, right, and reaches people within the industry and gives them some information, right. So hopefully it gives them, can guide them in a direction, or maybe they can use me as a resource or whatever. But the purpose is to reach people within the hospitality space, let people know what I do, let people know how I can help them, and gives people a platform to come on. They can talk about their brand, they can talk about what they do, they can do all that kind of stuff, right? So that's kind of the purpose why I do it. Passion: either you have it or you don't. Okay, so if you don't have passion for what you do, you need to do something else, okay? And three, perseverance: be consistent, continue to evolve, don't give up, and swerve when you need to. On air with Russell of Hotels, we swerve. We don't pivot, we swerve, okay? Pivoting is like you see the crap coming in the horizon. And I use the word crap, right? You see it coming in the horizon, and you're already, pivoting, you're already in the crap, right? You can't get out of it. So you just basically, I got to deal with this crap. So you're just moving back and forth or around in circles, right? Trying to, what do I do next? What do I do next? But swerving, you see the crap in the horizon and you swerve to miss it. Okay, like, okay, well, I'm not going that way. I'm going to turn it right here. Okay, I'm going to do this other thing, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. So that's the difference between pivoting and swerving. Somebody's like, what the heck did that come from? But that's okay. That's just me. That's the mind of Russell of Hotels. So, and then the last thing, I just like I like to add this one. I like this one with Level Hotels. This is one of my favorite videos or content creating that I did for Level Hotels. So, once again, you staying downtown. You need to be downtown. Stayinglevel.com is the website. Use that promo code ROH, which stands for Russell of Hotels 23. And you get that special rate, right? It's all about that special rate. It's all about the rate I would get if I was staying there, right? So, so there you go. So once again, and this is my contact information I'm going to share with you guys next. That's my contact information. If you have questions at all, you can always reach out to me. Follow me on LinkedIn, IG, YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bing, so every time you get a notification that I've gone live, then you can check me out, right? So LinkedIn, IG, and YouTube. So make sure you follow me on those different platforms if you haven't already done that. And always share stuff, right? I never asked this, but share the information, right? So I send out a post, share the information with your people. I'm coming live here, hey, share the information, let people know, hey, Russell's going live, check him out. Or you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hey, have you subscribed to Russell's YouTube channel? Hey, it's some good stuff. Just go ahead and do that for me. But anyway, and if you want to check any more information out on my website, that's russellofhotels.com. My email's there, my phone number's there. I'm here as a resource. If you want to call me, ask me questions, whatever, boo, whatever, you can do that. Okay, all my information's out there. Okay, so if I'm gonna be geo-fenced, I'm okay with it because my information is out there for you guys. So anyway, you guys have a great day, and always remember to book direct, no matter where you're staying, at Level Hotels or the Ace Hotels downtown LA. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just make sure you book direct. So until next week, appreciate you guys.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success, rather become a person of great value.